Oh, okay. All right. We are being told that is the nominee around, so that when we start this prayers, he's part of the meeting. So you can call him to join us. Order, honorable members. Welcome the nominee. You may have a seat so that we can start our meeting. Honorable members and head of public service and secretariat, can you confirm the nominee is Mr. Rono as per the relevant document, so that we can proceed to the next level. The leader of majority, you can confirm.
It's the one. It's the one.
All right, thank you. So therefore, we proceed. Mr. Rono, you are most welcome. Before you is the appointment committee and other honorable members present this morning. Before we start the conversations or engagement, Secretariat, I also request you, I direct that you administer the oath. As you confirm whether the nominee is a Christian, Muslim, so that you know. Okay, then you can proceed.
I, Philip Cheruiyot Rono, do swear that the evidence I shall give before this committee is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
All right, thank you. You may proceed to take your seats. And members, before we commence, it will be proper. We start with the introduction, and we shall be starting from my far left, from the appointment committee members. Yes, Honorable Eric.
Thank you, Chair. Welcome, nominee. My name is Honorable Eric B. MCA Kablela Arcade. Welcome.
And also honorable members, in case anyone has interest, this is the point you can declare your interest.
Okay, thank you, Chairman. My name is Honorable Philip Cheruiyot Rono. I'm a member of County Assembly representing Singawit Ward in Singawit Joint Sub-County constituency.
Thank you, Chair. I am David Martin, MCA Gypsy Onward. Welcome, Rono. For the purpose of the record, Chair, I have no conflict of interest.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Philip Cheruiyot. I represent the great people of Ainamoi and Deputy Speaker, County Assembly of Kericho, and a member of this committee. And for the record, Chair, I do not have any conflict of interest. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you very much, Chairman. I'm also Philip Rono, so I guess the Philip Rono that is appearing before us is not me, Mr. Speaker. I'm the leader of majority of this county assembly, the vice chair of this committee, and equally I'm the MC representing Kamashan Ward in Kipkelian West constituency. Mr. Speaker, I don't have any interest on this matter. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairman. My name is Vincent Korir. I represent Londiana Ward, and I'm a member of this committee, and I don't have any interest. Thank you. Thank you, Chair. I'm Chudi Asiel, representing Waldai Ward. I want to declare interest with the candidate. He is from my ward, and that will not deter me from my duty. Thank you.
All right, thank you, the Honorable Julius Asiel. That is well noted.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm Anthony Ruto, member of this committee, MCA Kipkelian. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Other honorable members present in the House.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my name is Honorable Harold Rotich, representing the people of Seretut and the Whip County Assembly. Thank you. Karibu the nominee.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. My name is Richard Sigalai Langat, MCA representing Kedah Timangul, opted member. Thank you, Chair. I'm Kipet Peter, MCA Kapsusir Ward. Nominee, welcome. I'm a friend to the committee. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Philip Mutai, representing the great people of Kipchimchim, friend to this committee.
My name is Desmond Kibuyo, representing the great people of Kilchilawa. Thank you.
Korit Matu is my name. I represent the great people of Chaikwa. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for that opportunity.
All right, thank you. Now we proceed the Secretariat to introduce themselves before the nominee.
Julius Kurgat, Sergeant at Arms.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Titus Rotich, Research Officer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir, my name is Abraham Langat, Deputy Clerk, Administrative Services.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir, my name is David Fiongo, Answer Editor.
My name is Kibet Peter, the legal officer. Thank you.
My name is Philip Cheruiyot, clerk to this committee.
I'm Sharon Mibe, Deputy Clerk, Legislative, Legal and Procedural Services.
Anyone else who have not introduced himself or herself? Okay. All right, thank you. So we proceed. So the members before us is the nominee, as I said earlier, by the name Philip Cheruiyot Rono, nominee for the position of County Secretary and Head of County Public Service, which was submitted to this committee pursuant to Section 44 2D(b) of the County Government Amendment Act of 2020, submitted by His Excellency the Governor, Dr. Eric Mutai. As you are aware, honorable members, we committed this to Committee on Appointments, that is on 10th March 2026, and subsequently there was also an advert which was actually a notice to the nominee and the members of the public pursuant to the same section that I have mentioned of County Government Act Cap 265. That is the Public Appointments County Assemblies Approval Act, Section 5(8), and the Kericho County Assembly Standing Orders number 198, Section 4. And Secretariat I know the committee has gone through the memoranda, and we can proceed now with engaging the nominee, Mr. Rono, so that we can finalize this process. Mr. Rono, welcome again. Before you, as I mentioned, is the appointment committee. My name is Dr. Patrick Simutai. I'm the speaker and also the chairperson of this committee. We shall be having interaction with you. Basically, is that this committee, the main work is to establish whether you are suitable for this position, as of course guided by the various laws, starting with the Constitution of Kenya, the Public Appointments Act, the County Government Act, and all the other relevant laws and regulations pertaining to the position of the County Secretary and the Head of Public Service. And so feel free. We expect you to be open in our engagement, brief to the point, and should you feel that there is something that you want us to discuss, be it off camera, this committee will also consider that that request. So, and therefore, we urging you to find out what was that is interest into the specific position that you have been nominated to as per Section 44 of the County Government Act. I'll give you an opportunity to introduce yourself as fully, so that we can proceed to engage you and guide you further. And guide you further.
I would want to thank the committee for giving me this opportunity to appear before you this morning following my appointment or nomination as County Secretary, for the role of the County Secretary and Head of Public Service for the Kericho County Government. My name is Philip Cheruiyot Rono, and I'm married to one beautiful wife, Brenda Chelengadur, close to 30 years. And my family, ascribes to values such as integrity, hard work and discipline and community service, attributes which kind of align to my commitment to serving Kericho County people. If this committee would clear and approve me for the role. I was born some 53 years ago, specifically on 28 December 1972, in a small village called Keben, in now Keben sub-county, Waldai location, Belgood sub-county, in this great county of Kericho. Schooling I began in 1978 in Keben Primary School, and for 8 years I was in Keben until 1985 when I sat for my KCB exams. Yeah, Keben Primary School is some 2 kilometers away from home, southwest of my home. So for the 8 years I used to walk to school like 4 times in a day, morning, coming back home for lunch, going back for the afternoon classes, and coming home for the evening. So like 8 kilometers every day for the 8 years. Little did I know that this was preparing me for the academic and career challenges that were lying ahead of me until this day. Joined Jeptenia High School in 86, finished 89. Cheptenyi is not also far from home. So some of these, apart from the academia, I was active, class monitor, I played hockey, I was Secretary General for the Young Farmers Club. I was generally active. And Cheptenyi, the world mission started in Cheptenyi. So there was a church there, so even this church, I was also active in church, CU and all that. Some of these attributes, integrity, discipline, honesty, probably also began there, because I remember, even the pocket money that remained every time, I would return to my father. Probably I don't know whether it was naivety or honesty. So they gave us the challenge to clean up the program and present in Senate. There were not many professors in business at that time, so I got the privilege to be the Senate rep for Faculty of Commerce. So we went around University of Nairobi, Lower Kabete, we went to USIU, went to KU, where business programs are strong, and we came up with one of the best programs at that time. Some of my students are all over the place, even now, including one even who became the commissioner at KRA, reporting to the Commissioner General, one guy from Maralal Samburu called Tera Saidimu. He is the tax consultant now for the president. And our GMs in banks, general manager at Diamond Trust Bank called Gotiende, in charge of, even at Stanbic, the head of learning was my student. So I've had many, I don't know. One my time do I have, Chair? Let me go to KCB.
Just proceed.
Okay. All right. KCB is where I stayed the longest. I joined KCB in I was teaching at that time, but the bank was employing management trainees, young graduates with master's degree. The bank was going through some challenges at that time. That's why they separated between the good bank and the bad bank. There was Terry Davidson. Before the Terry Davidson from Citibank was Garrett George, who came from Barclays to come and turn around the bank. So they wanted young graduates, kind of a trim of some sort with master's degree. I applied for the job, and they wanted people who had across to change the culture of the bank from across Kenya, education from, we had someone from London, we had studied in London, America, across cultural team. So we went through Johannesburg, Cape Town, I was in London, I was in Frankfurt, Munich, either for business relationships or trainings or conferences. Yeah, even at Stanbic as well, which I'll come to. Last year, for the last 2 years, I've been going to South Africa, because Stanbic is owned by Standard Bank of South Africa, which is the largest bank in the continent by balance sheet size. From there, there was a role. The bank was going through some change in terms of operating structure at some point. So the corporate banking arm, because there is retail, corporate, and other segments, they wanted to go sector route, sector diagnostic, the oil and gas, infrastructure, agriculture. So agriculture was formed as a sector at the bank. So my agricultural training now, I'm undergraduate, came into play. Because when I applied for the job, there was not many bankers did agriculture in the undergraduate. But as you all know, agriculture is the backbone of this economy, close to 30% GDP, directly, indirectly, another 27% through, connection with other sectors like service, industry, and all that. And the bank realized that. So KCB appointed me head of agribusiness across sectors. So we did a lot around tea, coffee, dairy, horticulture, etc., etc. As I finished, again, a role came up in Stanbic Bank. Actually, I didn't apply for the job. They came to me. They headhunted me through consultants, Stanbic Bank, in 2021. So I thought it was important to take up this role, because Stanbic Standard Bank in particular, especially in South Africa, they're in 20 African countries, from Ghana, Nigeria, the whole of East Africa, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, but bigger in Southern Africa, Mozambique, Botswana, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and South Africa. And they're big in agriculture. I thought I should take that role. So I took the role, and it was expanded. It's been an expanded role. So yeah, I've done a lot. Even the coming of Stanbic in Kericho, I was part of the team that we thought Stanbic is big in tea, but traditionally it's big in downstream in Mombasa, the auction ecosystem. This auction uses the Stanbic's platform called EBB, electronic billboard, to settle trades between the brokers, exporters, and etc., and warehouse men and women. So, but we realized that it was the money we could do like 180 billion, you know, but it could eventually it ends up in the producer and the farmer. Producer here is the manufacturer, whether it's a multinational, Bronze, or James Findlay, or George Williamson, or Sotic Tea, or Eastern Produce in Nandi. It reached there, or the privates, like the Bureti, the Kipchimjim Group. The money eventually, the dollars must sit with the producer. But we are not very strong inlands, upcountry. That's why the bank decided to make a strategic decision to open branches so that those monies can sit with us. And yeah, eventually. So that's my story in terms of work experience. So in terms of relating to this role, I've related. It's collaborative. There's a lot that we do. It's not only about the branch. When you walk into a branch and you see a teller there or a customer consultant, there is a lot: customer service, employee motivation, training, mentorship, which I believe, because this role is about public service, it's about employees. I know we have, through the chair, I beg to rest.
Okay. All right, thank you so much, Rono, for that comprehensive introduction. When the members, as you can see from your assessment form, I think the nominee has introduced himself comprehensively, and I know you have picked the issues that are in your assessment form, just as and you have done what you are required to do. Just a few things here. Maybe during your introduction, you missed in a few things that you were looking for, and probably on the matter of public office, political activities and affiliations. If you have ever held any public office before, or maybe also you mention, or maybe I should just ask you directly, whether you have held any public office before, or you are currently holding, including terms of service, and whether such positions were elected or appointed. Just can be yes or no.
No.
All right, thank you. Have you ever been dismissed or otherwise removed from office for contravention of the provision of Article 75 of the Constitution?
No.
Thank you. Have you ever been adversely mentioned or associated with practices that depict bias, favorism, or nepotism in the discharge of public duties?
No.
There's the aspect of pro bono or charity work, donations to charity. You may describe what you have done by way of pro bono or charity work. If any, you can just tell us.
Yeah, charity work, as I mentioned, my family is really into community service, and we've been involved in several.
Okay.
Like in my local church, I go to HEC, Eben. We were able to donate modern music equipment of over 100,000 shillings to the church. And I'm also involved in building a branch of my local church called Reward currently. It's even an Arambe coming soon. And all these Arambes in the village, both within my village and the sub-location.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actively involved in community work.
That is okay. That is enough. All right. The other thing is on, as an officer, should you be successful, I know you are aware that government officers always declare their net worth. Mr. Rono, what is your estimated net worth currently?
In terms of net worth, I guess what you would looking at is assets and liabilities.
Yes, assets and liabilities.
Yeah, naturally, definitely we've got a couple of assets here and there, and along with liabilities. But yeah, I would say, okay, some of it's quite intricate at times because some are kind of commingled. Some are in my name, maybe with my wife. Some are ancestral in nature, not already. But I would say those which have my name on them,
estimate
would come to, I would work with maybe 60 million.
Okay, 60 million and any liabilities?
Give or take. I mean,
okay.
I would say net.
Or net.
Yeah.
Okay, that is fair enough.
But I would, there is even where I live, it's ancestral land, still in my parents' name and siblings involved.
Okay.
So I cannot put a value to it at the moment.
All right. I think that is okay. Have you been charged in a court of law in the last 3 years?
No.
Have you ever been adversely mentioned in an investigatory report of Parliament or County Assembly or any other commission of inquiry in the last 3 years?
No, Honorable Chair.
When the members, I hope I have picked everything from your assessment tool. Okay. Before I open the floor, Mr. Rono, listening to you and of course having gone through your CV, I have, maybe I just have one observation. I'm interested really on, if you go to, I was looking at your CV. This is the current position, that is the head of agribusiness and consumer sector. And I realize that you are managing assets and liabilities close to, there is 17 billion assets and 6 billion in terms of liabilities.
Deposits.
Yes, you know, I don't know, just as a matter of being curious, I don't know whether you know the total budget of our county government, for instance, this financial year. But I don't know whether you...
approximately 8 billion or something?
Yeah, somewhere there, but I think we are around 10 billion at the moment, I hope so. But my concern is that, don't you think that you are taking a job, it feels like you, instead of climbing the ladder, you are downgrading yourself by taking the position of the county secretary, given what you are doing currently. And I'm also, I don't know about the remuneration. I know those are other factors also that you can consider. But just as a, I don't know what is your comment about the same, about this observation.
Thanks, Honorable Chair, for the question. It's true, it reaches a time when, you know, the financial aspect would be less of a motivator. As I told you, my experience spans almost 30 years. I've been, you know, I've just come to, and I've traveled and all that. But I realized east or west, home is best. It reaches a time when you say, oh, all these experiences, skills and all that can also be better utilized with my people. So I think it's reached a time where I need to come back home and share that experience and use my skills and experience to enhance public service to my people. that's the main motivator, yeah, coming closer home.
All right, fair enough. So, honorable members, I'll now open the floor so that you can engage with the nominee. The leader of majority.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and the chair for this session. And maybe to first congratulate the nominee for his nomination to this bucket. I have almost a similar question, Chairman, with the one that you posted to the nominee, though he has tried to answer the question very well. My big concern, Chair, is I don't know whether the nominee is aware of the current situations at the county, and whether he is aware that we once feathered a county secretary by the name Dr. Wesley Bor, whom basing on the arguments and the fighting exercise that took place in this Honorable House Chairman, we ended up putting the same nominee for impeachment after maybe Chairman causing a lot of discomfort at the county executive. Have you ever maybe tried to know what could have been the challenge maybe in that office? Because since the time we had the first county secretary, I don't know whether it's the first or second, that is Mr. Joel Pate. Since then, there has been very serious unrest maybe in the office of the county secretary. I don't know whether from the time you are appointed or from the time you saw your name having successfully picked by His Excellency the Governor, I don't know whether you've done some bit of investigations to know what has been the challenges that has caused discomfort in the same office of the county secretary. And if you have information of the same, I don't know whether you can enumerate to the committee and give the solutions of the same problems that you might have found. Because I know coming into an office, you tend to want to know what is going on in that office. I don't know whether you've identified whether there was a problem and what could be the problem and what are the solutions of that problem. Otherwise, from the look of things, Chair, I don't want to preempt, but based on your experience, I think having worked with so many institutions before, I know you know the challenges that we are facing as a county. And if this committee finds you fit, we want to urge you that as you wonder, if this committee finds you fit to be in that office, kindly let us help our people. Thank you.
Okay, in the interest of time, I think I'll request the nominee to pick a round of maybe 3 conversations, starting with the one from the leader of majority. I want to give to Honorable Eric B, and then I give to Honorable Vincent. So you can note it down so that you can respond to all of them at once. Honorable members, proceed.
Thank you, Chair. And allow me also to appreciate the introduction done by Philip Rono. And based on his introductions, I have seen his person-rich experience. So, Chair, my 2 questions are, you are aware of the roles of the county secretary. Maybe you can indicate or briefly give us the cardinal roles of the county secretary. And when a person were approved by this committee, who will you report to? As a county secretary, who do you report? 3, lastly, Chair, is that the duration and terms of conditions of the county secretary. Is it a permanent and pensionable job? Or tell us the duration and the terms of county secretary. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Vincent.
Thank you very much, Chairman. I want to congratulate Philip Rono, and I'm very happy, especially with the experience that you have, and what you say that you want to bring it to Kericho County, because when I look at your experience and the exposure, you deserve, maybe to me, if it was me, I could rate you as you deserve even to be even a CS to me. But since you have come to be interviewed as County Secretary, I know maybe the passion first of all came from Kericho County. Now we have a lot of challenges in our county, and I believe you will be one of the people who will bring solutions. Now we have a wage bill of 44% against the required 35%. Again, since you are in banking and finance, I know in banking you have revenue and you have expenses. In Kericho County, the county is very rich, and the potential of these counties, we have a potential of raising 2 billion per year. But currently, we are raising less than $1 billion, and almost 3/4 of what we are raising is from the hospital, meaning from the sick. So from other sources of revenue, we are actually below 200 million. So for us to succeed in development, we need to have revenue. So my interest is to know from you, what do you do to bring down wage bill? Number two, the staff that we have is around 3,700. And most of them sometimes are not in the places where people are supposed to be served. For example, veterinary officers are supposed to be with the farmers. But to realize some of them are even in this town. They are not with the farmer. So I would like to know, how will you do to ensure that the staff is well balanced, well trained, and also devoted to serve the people? Number two, what will you do to help this county raise revenue to the potential of 2 billion or even above? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Maybe Mr. Rono, you can respond to those questions.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, honorable members. First, to start with the question raised by the honorable member, the majority leader, my namesake Philip Rono. He asked, what lessons would we learn from my predecessor? Yeah, I'm alive to the fact that this role of County Secretary and Head of Public Service, their responsibilities are monumental. I know it's a nerve center, like an engine room of the county, because as I answer even that question, I'll answer the role of the of this position as asked by the Honorable Eric B, the Honorable Member. The role is, it's so much. Head of Public Service means, you know, heading the entire staff force. You talked of 3,700 strong. You can imagine. So that role means you are in charge of providing policy direction and leadership to all the workforce, 3,700, almost 4,000 strong. Number two is the cabinet, role as the county secretary, where I would be in charge of coordinating the business of the CECs, maintaining the records, and cascading the same to the relevant departments, right? There is implementation and coordination of the same decisions of the executive committee, and tracking and ensuring they are fully implemented, right? Number four, there is the intergovernmental, coordination, whether with the national government. I know there are shared services with the national government and even with the with other counties. You remember the recent case, although I should not go to that, it's prejudice. I know it's in court. I mean, I know it will rest on my shoulders as well, right? There is the performance management framework. And I think as I answer this, it will also answer to how you will redistribute the roles of the vets who are in offices here. They are supposed to be with the cows in the field. Performance management framework is key. I'll bring this to bear coming from the private sector. In banking, both no one can hide on others. You have to be. So we have to have a robust performance management framework. Where we would get clear targets for people, and they are appraised periodically. Those who are joyriders, you need to be called out. Those who are performers needs to be rewarded. There should be some rewarding scheme, whether we meet small or higher numbers, especially when it comes to revenue. I'll come to revenue. I hope I'm not commingling. I am also aware that there is delegated roles, even from Public Service Board to the CS office. So those delegated powers I'm supposed to take up as well, right? Yeah, and I guess that answers your question, Honorable B. But what lessons we learned from, yeah, it's a big role. I know we should not overstep mandate. There is the Constitution and the relevant acts which would always guide us, and the officers and committees that will guide me in discharging my mandate. There is the Constitution that formed the county governments, Chapter 11. There is a Chapter 6, which is passionate with as well. I think it will guide a lot of my actions and protect me and fearlessly, without favor, discharge my mandate, because there are acts of parliament that covers. Yeah, for Public Servants Ethics Act, there is Leadership and Values of Leadership Act, there is the County Government Act. I think if we stick to that mandate and stick to that roles around ethics, around accountability, around honesty, around trust, public trust, around expediting discharge of services to the public. This role, behavior-wise, it cuts across even to individual behavior. When you talk of public trust, you cannot divorce my own personal actions and the actions of my office. They have to be in sync. They dovetail. You cannot live a double life. There are relevant committees, for instance, the County HR Management Advisory Committee, which is very powerful with regard to staff management. Staff, you know the role of that, when it comes to promotions, training, disciplinary. It has to pass through, because they are the CEOs sitting this thing, and they're the ones who know whether the veterinary officer is in office while he's supposed to be doing extension services, for that matter. The disciplinary measures should come through that body. Of course, in consultation with the Independent Public Service Board, relevant recommendations should be made without fear or favor, because they are the relevant legislations that are there. So I think we would stick to that. I mean, we'll bring to bear. I've come one way, I mean, I should be in the office, it's on record, like one of the earliest. Lead by example. Not come and hang the courts, the public. I mean, it is my county. I've already, and I have the academic background. I do research, one way or another. So I'm already aware of what needs to be done, how staff should be noted. The 3,700. Why? I'm sorry to use your example. Why a veterinary person should be. But also they need to. But I'm sure there are people also who are hardworking. They need to be rewarded. I mean, if there is any trainings, promotions, and we'll come to that. I'll cascade the very robust performance management system that is applied in the bank. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, there was, I think I've covered.
You have covered.
The revenue, maybe, yeah, the revenue aspect asked by Honorable Richard Korir, the honorable member for this honorable committee on appointments, that on the wage bill, which is skyrocketed, and the numerator and denominator are not adding up. We also have an act of legislation that limits that. So I think that's also my pet subject. I think I have a lot of passion now, coming from the finance, coming from bank, where we grow revenue. We thrive on that. Business development, you know, going out there and growing business. I think what we need to do is there is no shortcut. It's to get revenue. We need to get the money, one way or another, to reduce this ratio. Because if the numerator is high, the revenue, and the denominator is low, I mean, or am I mixing up? We need to reduce that ratio by bringing in revenue. There is no shortcut about it. How to bring revenue? I know there is a lot of reliance now on taxation. We don't need to burden the people of Kericho by increasing rates, I know there is a market rates, there is a parking fees, there is industrial property collections, probably some tourism activities. We just need to enhance, to broaden the base, the revenue base. Even instead of relying on taxation and all that, we should also look at the investment related, you know, encourage investors to come in. And I would be happy even to go out of the country where I have already have established relationship with in many parts of the world, or locally, get investors to come in, earn from concessions, earn from revenue sharing. That's also big monies. Earn from, you see, and leakages as well. We sip the leakages through innovation and digitization, and that's what I thrive at. That's what we do in the bank.
I think that is well.
Yeah, cashless payment system, for instance, you know, you link with the e-citizen, mobile banking, so that there is no manual intervention in revenue collection.
Okay. I thank you, Rono. I think you have covered what was raised by the honorable members.
Thank you.
The Honorable Anthony Ruta and then Honorable David Maritim. And then Honorable Ogon, you can take that three so that we can have the last one from Mheshimiwa Sila.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Rono.
Thank you.
Chairman, in fact, I don't want to repeat myself. I want only to reinforce what my brother Vincent Korir has already mentioned. Mr. Rono, whenever anybody hears about Kericho, from there he expects good things in Kericho, because Kericho is endowed with a lot of resources. As we are speaking, Mr. Rono, we are doing poorly as far as on revenue collection is concerned. It is an element in the house. We have tried several as a house to encourage the executive to enhance revenue or own source revenue. But nothing has been forthcoming. It is shameful. We have counties like Migori, Omabe. They are doing very well. But Kericho is doing poorly. Mr. Rono, as the head of the public service, what mechanisms are you going to put in place to see to it that we improve on that? For example, Mr. Rono, I was privileged yesterday, I traveled to Chansoia to visit a friend. It was a Sunday. And you know what? Those people who are concerned with sales collection, they are there throughout. But Kericho, during weekends, nothing is going on. Meaning that there is a lot of laxity in Kericho as far as human productivity is concerned. There's a lot of laxity. My concern is this: what are you going to do to make sure that we enhance productivity as far as human resource is concerned? If you can visit our sub-county offices, it is very rare even to get employees in the office. Come to the headquarters here in Kericho. Even the CECs and the CEOs. Go to their offices. It is very rare to get them in their offices. Meaning that what is ahead of you, Mr. Rono, the expectations that we expect from you is enormous. So what mechanisms are you going to put in place so that at the end of the day, the same can be corrected? Thank you, Chairman.
Yes, Honorable Maritim.
Okay, Chairman. Thank you. I want to ask Philip, in this administration we had a very competent and well-experienced CS, but he ended up being impeached. Do you know the grounds of impeachment? Then again, was this House justified to impeach him because of those grounds? Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Once again, Bwana Philip Rono, you're welcome and congratulations on your interview. And subsequently, your name has been sent to this House for vetting and perhaps approval. I'm also grateful and happy to see your illustrious career. In fact, I've gone through it and you've risen, through it. It means you've done a good job wherever you've gone, and the management, trusted your ability. Now, Waziri, two things. County Secretary, pursuant to the Section 44 of the County Governments Act is very clear. This is the head of public service. You will be in charge of the entire workforce in this county, and you'll be the secretary to the cabinet of this administration. Now, let me just give you 3 things. One, in this administration, the governor has sacked up to 11 senior executive members. That is 9 CECs. We impeached the county secretary, and then the chief of staff resigned because of the frustrations. Number 2, this county has lost close to 5 chief officers. There are those who've gone out of frustrations, they returned to where they were. There are those who resigned and look for greener pastures. And these are the best people that we vetted in this House. These are the people who held positions like the one that you hold. I do not know, now that you're coming into the same administration, I don't know what will happen if you'll be frustrated within the past 6 months. Because the CEC was hired, and after 6 months is fired. This is somebody who would never even had an opportunity to do anything. So I've looked at your career, and I'm impressed, but I'm worried. What happens if you go through the same fate? Lastly, the CS is the custodian of all the county assets. We have the PI lands. It is supposed to be, properly kept by the county secretary. I can now tell you, in this county, we have so many PI lands that we've lost. In Kipkelion and Londiani, where we have chunks of lands owned by the defunct local authorities. This current administration does not know even a single title deed. The last time I was Kipkelion Sub-County Hospital, where the Honorable Member Ruto Anthony is the member of County Assembly. I stood at the hospital, and there is somebody who's built a house in public land. It means this county is losing property, and nobody has been able to even attempt to trace them and recover them. I I wanted to tell this committee what will be a game changer. And lastly, in this administration, we now have wards without ward administrators. We have sub-counties without sub-county administrators. We even have a sub-county administrator who is a PhD holder and has been serving for the last 14 years. There is what we call promotion. I was impressed. You know, the fact that somebody has worked, this deserves to be a director, but nobody has ever recommended them. One of the things the county secretary does is to do the redesignation. And then number two, even moving the, you know, if you read section 72 of the County Government Act, one of their roles is to move those staff across the departments. We impeached the other CS because he moved staff within a department. That is not your role. It is the role of a TOs. Yes, nominee. I wanted to give confidence to this committee on what you intend to do to streamline the workforce and ensure there is a functional county government. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Philip Cheruiyot Rono. Mr. Rono will attempt to respond to that, and then you'll be a bit brief. Now I'll give you Honorable Sele and Honorable Cheruiyot, but the last set, and then we can close. Proceed, Rono.
Through Honorable Chair, yeah, I'll attempt to answer the questions that have been raised by the Honorable members.
And be precise.
Starting with what Honorable Member Mr. Ruta has asked. It touches on revenue. I think I had, to a large extent, articulated how this could be done. But it will be collaborative. I don't want to say hi. Mine is just to play the coordination part of it, largely. But of course, I'll apply myself to ensure all the stakeholders. All in my life, in the banking sector especially, there is a lot of collaboration. I mean, it's not a one-man show. You had consultative, consensus building, collaborations. We'll do dialogue, we'll mediate, negotiations here and there, like what they do with the CPA, collective bargaining agreement, with the labor issues. I know there are labor issues also here. So it will be try to foster partnerships, both the government and also this honorable house. I know you play a lot of role, legislative, oversight role, there is representation. So we want everyone to come, we want all hands on deck. It will not be definitely a one-man show. But I think my biggest role will be to bring all the stakeholders and bring my ideas to be. So with revenue, I think we've said a lot, but it touches also, as much as we accuse staff of being laxity amongst, you talked of SES, for instance, weekends you don't see anyone and all that. It touches on supervision also, on leadership of the county, the officers and all that. Are they there to supervise? Or are they delegating without responsibility to these people? That's a question. I mean, there is a whole human resource management challenge that from your remarks, they seem to be a problem. But there is no problem that cannot be resolved if we all apply ourselves 100%. Okay? Coming to Honorable Maritim, the impeachment he asked, was it justified? I think this is all embedded in the relevant legislation. Of course, there is a constitution, that chapter 11, that constituted the county governments. There is the County Government Act as well. There are all the relevant legislations, including the Public Service Ethics Act. There is the Leadership and Values of Leadership Act. There is chapter 6. Yeah, when there is justification for impeachment, definitely. If there is gross misconduct, there is all stepping of mandate, the honorable member also talked of assets of the county. They need to be safeguarded 100%. Otherwise, if there is some aspect of corruption, there is some aspect of dishonesty, there is some aspect of no transparency, accountability, then the relevant laws and should be followed to the letter. it doesn't become personal like that, because we are covered. It's just to implement fully what is on record. Honorable Rokon, I think I've talked of the risks in this job. It seems like it's a highly risky, but someone has to do it. I've come one way. If it's being a martyr, I'll take the bullet, as long as the people of Kericho gets the services that they deserve. Thank you.
Thank you. Rono, maybe we will not, honorable members, I think we still have only 5 minutes, so make sure you ask direct questions. Then we expect direct answers from Philip. You know, we've taken almost 2 hours. So allow me maybe to give to Honorable Cielo, then Honorable Cheruiyot Bet, then we close.
Thank you, Chair, for the opportunity. Mr. Rono, I've got only one question, that is, and also it's a political question. I think you are aware that our Deputy Governor is not in the office. From the reach of knowledge that you have and experience from the field you have been, what will you do so that our Deputy Governor returns back to the office? Because we have seen many loopholes in his absentia. A lot of revenue, also the experience that he had. He's the engineer on the water, so we have got no side.
Question is that one of the functions of a county secretary is coordination of cross-cutting donor projects and programs. From your vast knowledge in corporate world, I was interested to know, being the county secretary with that role and the work that you used to do in the work that you are currently in, how are you going to, the work that you are currently in, how are you going to, connect the county government with these other donor, funded projects? And now that you've been a man in charge of agricultural sector at KCB and the Stanbic Bank that you are currently working for. That is one. Then number 2, what are you going to do it differently? I know my colleagues have given you information that the immediate former county secretary was impeached by this county assembly. He was a doctor by profession, but he was. What are you going to do differently that the county government of Kericho will say, oh, there came a financial expert in 2026 and salvage this county from the problems that we've been facing? What are you going to do differently? So those are my 2 questions.
Thank you, Honorable Cheruiyot. Back to you, Honorable the CS nominee. And be precise, you only have 2 minutes to answer into those questions. Thank you.
Thanks, Chair and Honorable Chair. To get to Honorable Shell's question around what would we do to get the DG coming back, I would say you just need to talk. You just need to get back to the table and have the dialogue, mediation, That's all I could say. I talked of the collaboration, the consultative nature. It's good to talk. Maybe to the best of my ability, maybe I would try to bring the warring parties, for lack of a better word, onto the table. It happened in the past, it always happens. For the sake of our people, the good people of Kericho, and for the sake of our providing stellar services to our people. To Honorable Cheruiyot's question, the donor projects and programs. Using my experience, the experience locally and globally, what would I do? we know this country is rich in many aspects. There are opportunities around agriculture, there is opportunities around tourism, there is opportunities around agro-processing. And some of these donors, they look for opportunities also to put money. And the greatest impact are in these areas that I talked about. Agriculture, for instance. Most of the donor funding would want to go into areas that have the most, the greatest impact. And the greatest impact here would be around agriculture, because the bulk of our population is in agriculture. 70% of employment is in agriculture. So yeah, we would definitely, because it's about knowledge and awareness. It's just about information. These things are there. These fundings are there. And this also dovetails with what I alluded earlier, that we don't need to overtax our people by increasing taxes. We just need to expand the revenue base. And this is one area of expanding the revenue base, by bringing in donors and, investors. Yeah, basically that's it. What will I do differently? You asked the question, right? I mean, I've 30 years experience. That's what I'm bringing here. And a lot of it is, emotional intelligence and looking at people, the way they reason, the way they think, and coming down the ladder from the ivory tower, coming down to bring, I'll be a roving ambassador between the two divides of the house. I know you have your role. I appreciate this honorable house role. Government also needs, they have a lot of responsibility. It's not easy. Yeah, it's just to bring people together and have all our hands on the deck.
Thank you, Rono. Now we are going to take that. Sorry, honorable members, looking at our time, it's 1:08, and we have Honorable President here, who is a friend to the committee. I will give him a minute. Give mic to Honorable President so that he can maybe perhaps engage the nominee for 2 minutes. And then on the members, after that, we shall be taking the final submissions and even from the nominee, so that we can finalize and call it a day. Anyways,
thank you, Chair, for the opportunity. Nominee Rono, congratulations on your nomination. Mine will not be as a question but a comment, and I think you'll comment on the same. Is that the role of CS is mostly coordination on public service. One of the delinked, if there is a county which is totally delinked, is Kericho County. One is because there is some chain which should link the common manager with the government, is through ward administrators and sub-county administrators. In our county, sub-county administrators and ward administrators, I don't think they know where they report. And basically, they should be reporting to the county secretary. That is why when you go or when you hear responses from the public, they don't differentiate the roles of players, different players in the population. Example, you'll find a common manager complaining about non-implementation implementation of the project, asking the MCA about the roads, the water, and all other development, which in essence, they should be directing the question to the ward administrator and all the way to the governor. The reason why that is happening is because there is that dealing. Now being the aid of public service, what will you do different so that you will ensure that the entire team are up to the game, they report to the work, they coordinate government services and projects and assist in implementation of government policies in the ground, because the work of an MCA is not implementation. It's just oversight, interpretation, and legislation. The work of the execution and implementation is the executive, and the head of the executive is the governor, and through the ward administrators and the CCs. Thank you.
Thank you. Maybe you can just say something for a minute on the same.
Thanks, Honorable Esron, and thanks for your remarks and question. It's true, it all touches on human resource here. Most questions, I think service we providing to the people, and human resource here is a key resource. It apparently, it appears it's so, because it's a service. So all the problems is around human resource. Are people well placed? Are they well trained? Are they motivated? Are they being mentored? Are they being recognized? Are they being those who are not pulling up their weights? Is there ways to reprimand them? I think, and also we point fingers to staff, but what happens to the leadership and management as well? Are they missing in action? I think it's a collaborative thing. We just need to bring the people together. Run this thing like an enterprise. I've come one way, just with like a project. I'll run this thing like a project. Someone asked what is the tenure of my role. I think it's a 6th year, you asked. That's a project that I've come to manage from whatever, if this assembly was to clear me and approve me. Yeah, we bring all those mechanisms. If it means, I don't think we need a consultant to come and tell us what to do. I think we know public service is so robust with policies, HR, and trainings and all that. But it's just to show up. I think you just need to show up.
I think that is well responded to. So the members, your final submissions, starting from Honorable Basile. Mheshimiwa Sile, all right, thank you. Mheshimiwa Rogan, the mic.
Thank you, Chairman. And I must also appreciate the time that the nominee has given us. We wish you well with the committee to do the report, and definitely it will come before the House. Otherwise, I wish you well in your endeavors. May God bless you.
All right, thank you, Honorable David.
Okay, mine is just to wish Rono the best. Thank you. Mine also, Chairman, is to wish Rono the very best, even as the committee retreats to consider the reports of your approval. If they find you fit, we want to wish you the very best. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, honorable members. And Rono, let me also take this opportunity, I think, to sincerely apologize, because we started this session an hour late. We had another meeting, and you were here by 9:30 a.m. and we were to start at 10. Nevertheless, I want to sincerely thank you, continue to congratulate you for being nominated, as you have heard from my colleagues, that this committee shall retreat and now come up with a report to be adopted by the whole House. I wish you the best in the remaining process, but something very important that you have talked about, and even these 100 members have touched on the same matter, is the aspect of should you be nominated, should you successfully be nominated to be the county secretary and head of public service. I think the biggest animal that we have in the room is the aspect of wage bill, and even the issue of the revenues that we collect as a county government, either the ones that we receive from the share of the revenue, plus the one that we collect locally, you realize that this county government at the moment, they collect more from the sick, and the local collection really keeps on dipping. For instance, just to maybe brief you, is that for the last 6 months, that is up, I think up to February, this county government has collected 141 million out of a target of more than 800 million, implying that really in the next two or 3 months we will not achieve our targets. So there is a serious issue that needs to be addressed. You will also need to balance, should you succeed in this process, the aspect of there's the issues of promotions, the opportunities. You realize that when we go to every public function, we are being asked that this county government should be employing our people, but we have also the regulations that guides us, whereby the 35% of our total revenues should not more than 35% of our total revenues should go to the wage bill. In fact, I think we are doing around 44% at the moment, which means we have like 10% to ensure that we comply with the law, because that is the law. So the only way to comply with the law at the moment is probably maybe to enhance our revenues so that we can bridge that gap. But it's a big issue, and that needs to be done. I think you have heard also on the aspect of staff. There is a culture, probably it's kind of lethargic culture. Those are the issues that you will come and address. Let me wish you all the best. I want to give you a minute or so for your final submissions to this committee. Those 100 members who you are not there, already the other members have given their final submissions, and you know the chair has made final submissions on your behalf. So, Mr. Rono,
When the chair.
Yes, Rono, your final submissions.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairman. Thank you very much, honorable members of this honorable committee on appointments. Thank you very much for giving me opportunity to appear before you today. I really appreciate your time. I am a child of this county, born and bred, raised, and I have a sort of passion for this beautiful country. And given a chance to serve my people, I mean, I've come with a passion. Experiences locally, globally. I've traveled virtually all the continents of the world, you know, from Asia, Middle East, Southern Africa, Europe, and Americas, yeah, where even my children go to school. There is nothing, east or west, this county is so beautiful. You know, when you look right down from Total, you see the Mau, for instance, the Mau forest. It's one of the greatest ecosystems in the world, if you didn't know, apart from the Amazon and the rainforest ecosystem. Did you know Mau is one of the well referred? It's the lungs of the world. It's a third one. You know, Eastern Mau, Masai Mau, going to Tindred all the way. How many rivers a minute from here? And there's so many opportunities around agriculture. I said, yeah, agro processing, tourism, etc., etc. So thank you very much. I would be more than happy to serve our people, given opportunity. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Rono. Thank you so much for your time. Honorable members, now there being no other business, this meeting stands adjourned.